Letting go of control with Stoicism. There are various approaches to Stoicism theory, but one of the greatest, in my opinion, is to consider Stoicism from two essential foundations. One of which is that we ought to live in harmony with nature. People, as soon as I mention that, begin undressing and rushing to the forest, embracing trees and such stuff. Okay, that's good, but that's not what being Stoic is saying. I'm sorry to let you down, but what is it? Is this the look at the Stoic figure? If the question is, how can I lead a fulfilling life as a human being? Then I must respond. One last thing. What in the world is a human? Since if I don't comprehend human nature, then I'm probably going to make poor choices regarding my existence. Consider this. They considered humans like all other living organisms. If someone visits your house and provides you with a cactus, for example, you must consider what constitutes a good existence for a cactus, and you'd better give the right response. If not, that cactus will die, huh? Throughout the coming days, as you're supplying excessive amounts of water or not adequate light or something like that. People are now a little bit, not quite as complex as cacti, but a lot. While the Stoics claim that two things are very basic and crucial to human beings, besides the fundamentals, that is, we like one another. We're animals that must eat, sleep, have sex, and so forth. That's okay, but we share that with numerous other creatures, so it's not unique to human nature. It's simply the similarities between us and other creatures. What makes human nature unique? The Stoics say that there are at least two items. We can ponder, and we're gregarious. Therefore, we typically address our issues by reason, which is the best approach to thinking about things. We traverse life without powerful muscles, without running quickly, and without flying. We don't have teeth like other animals, but we solve issues by applying our big brains. Consequently, reason is an essential part of human life, and the other is civilization. There are other social creatures besides us, like bonobo chimpanzees, of course, one of our closest family members. Of course, we're not the only social animals, but humans are far more social than everyone else. Our communities are far more organized, intricate, and far more interconnected than any other community of animals. So the idea is this. If being human implies that a good human life will be centered on making good use of these two traits, then enhancing and applying your critical thinking skills is a crucial route to a happier existence. Strengthening your interpersonal relationships is an excellent way to spend your life. So living in harmony with nature simply means considering how you can solve difficulties with your items. As much as possible, be social. The second Stoic philosophical tenet is the control dichotomy, something that is frequently mentioned as the control dichotomy, though the word control is a tiny bit troublesome since it instantly leads to miscommunications. Perhaps we'll discuss it a little bit later. Essentially, the control dichotomy is the idea that certain things are up to ourselves and we have no control over other things, indicating that we bear responsibility for some of the things we are accountable for, while for others we are not ultimately in charge. A happy life is one where we prioritize the initial things and frequently disregard or accept the remainder, as it is at this moment. This is not merely a Stoic notion. It appears in 8th century Buddhism, 11th century Judaism, and Christianity in the 20th century. You may have heard of the Serenity Prayer, written by an American theologian in the early 20th century. It prays to God for the discernment to distinguish between what is changeable and what is not, the guts to make the changes we can, and the calmness to accept what we cannot. Essentially, that is the control dichotomy, and it's not a coincidence that you find it in Christianity, as the Christians understood it directly from the Stoics. The control economy, Epictetus describes this as the economy of control. He states, "We have control over some things, but others are motivated by our opinions and are not up to us." In other words, whatever is within our control is what we did, while our body, property, reputation, and office are not up to us. The initial group is somewhat deceptive since, after translation to English, it seems like the things I'd like to have are entirely up to me. However, if you look at the Greek terms, it makes it much clearer what it means. Epictetus asserts that the things that truly depend on me are my thoughtful assessments. If I choose something, if I form an opinion, that is my conclusion. I can't blame others. I am accountable for my opinion and my choice. The principles that we support, Whether we agree or disagree on something also apply to us. We are susceptible to influence by others, but ultimately it comes down to our choices. Whether to take action or not is within our control. For instance, I chose to come here to London during a pandemic. If I get sick due to COVID, I can't blame anyone else, as I made that choice. Observe what is not under my control. Almost everything else, my body, health, property, reputation, and career. We may feel we can impact these things, but the outcome doesn't rely on us. It's not within our authority. Our bodies are vulnerable to illness or events beyond our control. Take the pandemic as an example. It is up to you to comprehend the definition of a pandemic and what a virus is. This doesn't imply that you need to become an epidemiologist, but at least have a basic level of understanding. This knowledge helps you make decisions. You can decide to get vaccinated when possible, wear masks, keep social distance, wash your hands, and so forth. Those actions are under your control. However, becoming sick or not relies on external factors. Trust me, as a biologist, viruses are unpredictable. Even when you do everything right, you may still get sick. Doing everything correctly only lessens the likelihood, not the certainty. So for a Stoic, you must concentrate on making wise choices and comprehending the situation, then accept whatever consequences arise, as the repercussions are beyond your control. This is the control dichotomy. Now Cicero, though not a Stoic but a scholarly skeptic with sympathy for the Stoics, provided us with insight into Stoicism. He made an intriguing comparison to explain the economy of control. He said, "Consider a person aiming to shoot a spear or arrow at a mark. Their final goal is to shoot straight, but hitting the mark is not within their control. In other words, an archer in life can decide on the bow and arrows to use, maintain them, practice archery, concentrate during the shot, and choose the best moment to release the arrow. After that, numerous things could interfere with wind, an obstacle, or the mark moving unexpectedly. They can control the preparation, but not the outcome. The idea is this: internalize your objectives, focus on your responsibilities, and be prepared to accept the result, whatever it may be. For instance, consider professional interactions like job interviews. Our natural focus is on the outcome. Will I get the job? However, the Stoics say that's the wrong emphasis. Getting the job is not within your control. It depends on the interviewer, competition, and other external factors. What's up to you is presenting the best resume, arriving on time, dressing appropriately, and performing well in the interview. These are your responsibilities, the outcome is not. Similarly, in relationships, desiring someone to love you is incorrect. That's their choice, not yours. What you can control is your empathy, compassion, and how you show up in the relationship. The final decision of whether they return the favor rests with them. Epictetus promises that if you understand what belongs to you, your decisions, and what does not, you will find peace and happiness. You won't ever feel forced or hold others responsible. Everything you do will be done willingly. By focusing on what is within your control, you accept outcomes calmly. This is Stoic wisdom. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below to let us know what you think. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more exciting content.